Hey everyone, welcome back to Magic Time. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me this morning. I've wanted to shoot this video for quite some time to express a little bit of what I believe is the essence of this whole wine thing, which is enjoying wine at its maximum level takes a little bit of understanding about how to discover the sense of place in the glass. What do I mean by that? I mean by that when you pour yourself a glass of wine from a certain location in the world, that when you smell and taste that wine, you can come to the discovery that it could have only ever come from that one little piece of earth. It's a manifestation of Mother Nature and us coming together to create and capture a piece of time and a piece of the place, a piece of the earth in the glass. That true expression. I can't tell you how much I would love for everyone to discover a little bit more of sense of place, and when they have a glass of wine, to ask the simple questions of why it tastes like that, where it comes from, and who made it, and why they made it in that style. What's their history? What's their family history? What's their father's life like? What's their grandfather's life like, and how they came to this conclusion about how they should farm their vineyards in a certain way and where they chose to farm those vineyards. All that is encompassed in what the French often call terroir, and the discovery of the sense of origin in the glass. How does that wine express that little piece of earth, the microclimate, all the elements that came together to produce those unique flavors in a glass. Finding sense of place is so enjoyable. It stimulates the mind. Just drinking wine for the hell of it, wine that just tastes like wine and doesn't have those markers and those descriptors of place, is enjoyable. But the ultimate level of enjoyment in wine, I think, in terms of how I've enjoyed it so far in my little 17-year career in the wine business, has been trying to discover why, and why and where and how and who and what, all those questions about why certain expressions are found in a glass of wine. I've been fortunate enough to live here in Napa Valley now for about 5 years and discover the sense of place of Napa Valley. I have much to learn about the sense of place of other places. I studied wine for many years from all over the world, but actually living here in this valley, I've been able to distinguish now little pieces of information and come together with an ultimate conclusion and a picture about what makes one appellation here in Napa Valley separate and apart from another, and what is the flavor of wine, whether it's up on Mount Veeder, Spring Mountain, Diamond Mountain, Howe Mountain, Atlas Peak, Stag's Leap District, Oakville, Yountville, St. Helena, Rutherford, Calistoga, Coombsville, all these amazing little districts. And I'd like to think that if you lined up 10 Cabernets in a row and they were all from little distinctive little areas here in Napa Valley, these little sub-districts, which I did a whole video series on, that I'd be able to distinguish some of the wines. Maybe not all of them, maybe I wouldn't nail in a blind tasting all 10, but maybe I'd get close and I'd be like, there it is, you know, the discovery, the mental stimulation of tasting and smelling something and saying, it's from that spot. I remember that flavor profile. That is the true discovery of sense of place in a glass, and that leads to the ultimate enjoyment of wine in my picture. Like when you taste a glass of Barolo, there's nothing like that flavor and that intensity of Nebbiolo from that little part of northern Italy. And you can even go further into that, like, is it Canubi Barolo, like down to the vineyard, right? I often tell my people when I host here in Napa Valley that in the quest to find a wine of quality on a big restaurant list is to look for the wines that display a finite sense of place, meaning that if a label just says California Cabernet on it, it could have come from anywhere in California. Paso Robles, Temecula, Central Coast, Central Valley, up here in the Napa Valley, Sonoma County, Mendocino, Lake County. It could have come from anywhere, the grapes. But as you delineate down to Napa or Sonoma, and then even the sub-district, you know, Oakville, Yountville, or if you're in Sonoma, Russian River, or the Sonoma Coast. When you delineate further and further down, you get a more finite sense of place in the glass, even down to the vineyard. And if you're lucky and you can find a wine that is actually the vineyard block within the vineyard, within the appellation, within Napa, within California, within the United States, when you delineate it down to that little block of earth and you can taste that little sense of place in the glass, boy, what an amazing, stimulating practice. And that's really where I find truth and in what they call in vino veritas in wine, right? There's truth in wine, and it's a sense of place, it's a sense of earth, it's a sense of our accomplishment as human beings working with Mother Nature for well over 5,000 years of creating this amazing beverage and displaying a piece of Mother Nature in a glass. At any rate, I don't know if you followed any of that, but that's my passion, discovering wine, discovering a sense of place, and finding true enjoyment in the connection with our Mother Earth. I love you guys. Cheers. Thanks for following the channel. Please hit subscribe and like. We'll see you next time.